Next Our Neighbor by Peter Filler. Chapter 2, Jotus Parralux. Jotus Parralux is a 14-year-old high school freshman whose birthday falls on July 4th. He moved from Brooklyn, New York to Galveston, Texas in June. It's August 11th, the first day of school at Buccaneer High School in Galveston. Jotus, an eager ninth grader, is excited to meet his new classmates. Jotus has light brown eyes, straight brown hair, and a positive attitude. His teachers like and respect him so far, but one of his classmates, Aaron, does not. While taking attendance during first period, Jotus' Spanish teacher, Miss Quintanilla, noticed his accent and asked, "Hey Jotus, I like your accent. It's different. Where are you from?" Jotus smiled and replied, "Brighton Beach, Brooklyn. It's a wonderful place." Miss Quintanilla smiled warmly. "Brooklyn. Very cool. That's a long way from Galveston." "It is," Jotus said, "but I'm adjusting." With a wink, she said, "Your accent is going to make your Spanish sound extra interesting." The class chuckled lightly. Jotus grinned. More at ease now. As soon as the bell rang, Aaron stepped into Jotus's path. "Why don't you tell me where you're really from, Jotus?" Jotus raised an eyebrow. "I told you, Brighton Beach, Brooklyn," he added with a calm smile. "You'd probably like it there. There's a boardwalk, a cool stone pier, lots of kids, and some amazing Italian restaurants. If you ever go, I can recommend the best spots." Aaron narrowed his eyes, then stepped back. "I'm not sure if I believe you, Jotus. Just in case, I'm going to be keeping an eye on you." He pointed to his own eyes, then to Jotus's. "I'll be watching you." With that, he turned and disappeared into the hallway. The next day in Spanish class, Jotus raised his hand. "Miss Quintanilla," he asked politely, "may I get a drink of water?" Before she could answer, Aaron cut in. "That's not how you say water." Jotus turned to him, one eyebrow raised. "Why not?" Aaron smirked. "Because you sound like a weirdo." Jotus shrugged, unfazed. "Then I guess I'm a well-hydrated weirdo." With that, he stood up and walked out to get a drink, head held high. As the first few months of school passed, Jotus did his best to fit in at Buccaneer High. One of the biggest challenges was following the strict dress code. Students known as Bucks were required to wear black or khaki pants with the collared school-approved logo every day, that is, except Friday. Fridays were free dress days, and they quickly became Jotus's favorite day of the week. It was his one chance to shine, and he made the most of it. One Friday, he might wear a bright, colorful polo with crisp khakis and a patent leather shoes. Another Friday, he'd show up in tailored blue or gray three-piece suit, complete with a matching tie and polished dress shoes. And sometimes, he kept it casual in clean sweatsuit and running sneakers. "It's never too early to make a good first impression," Jotus liked to say, and on Fridays, he dressed the part. Several months had passed, and Jotus still hadn't made any close friends. He did have Jennifer Peters, but, if he was honest, their friendship felt like alphabetical destiny. Teachers often paired students by their last name, and Parralux and Peters always ended up side by side. They chatted before class and whispered jokes during boring lectures, but as soon as the bell rang, Jennifer disappeared into her usual group of friends. Jotus had come to accept the truth. Their friendship had one unspoken rule. It only existed inside the classroom. Jotus had noticed a boy named Julius who looked friendly, with his blonde hair and bright blue eyes. Jotus stood out in a crowd. Jotus decided to try and be friends with him. In January, Julius was named captain of the ninth grade boys basketball team. That's when Jotus began following Julius around, hoping to find a friend. Jotus admired the way Julius walked around campus. Ever since being named captain of the ninth grade boys basketball team, Julius had developed a bit of an arrogant streak, walking with a noticeable swagger. Between classes, he would often stop in the middle of the hallway, blocking the flow of students, just to put on a little show. Julius would toss his notebooks into the air, catching them with a spin, like a Harlem Globetrotter. Other times, he'd lift his textbook with exaggerated effort, grunting and flexing like a weightlifter, all while flashing a confident grin. Students stopped to watch, cheering him on. When the late bell rang, Jotus trailed behind, trying to mimic Jotus's swagger as they headed to class. The first time Julius noticed Jotus imitating him was after their first period class in the hallway. He turned around and saw Jotus walking right behind him, copying his stride exactly. Then Jotus extended his hand and said, "It's nice to meet your acquaintance." Julius blinked in surprise, then laughed and said, "Get out of here, Jotus." Caught off guard, Jotus raised his eyebrows, shrugged, and kept on walking. The second time Julius noticed Jotus imitating him was later that morning in Mr. Bowman's math class. Julius had just gotten up to sharpen his pencil. After sharpening it, he inspected the tip, testing its sturdiness. Jotus had followed him and was now waiting behind him at the sharpener. As Julius walked past to return to his seat, Jotus extended his hand again and said, "It's nice to meet your acquaintance." Julius rolled his eyes and snapped, "If you're going to be following me around, Jotus, you're going to get a pencil to the hand." Jotus froze, stunned by the response. He slowly lowered his hand and shook his head, disappointment sinking in. The third time happened later that afternoon during lunch. Julius grabbed his tray from the cafeteria line, picked out his lunch, and sat at a table surrounded by his friends. Close behind, Jotus picked up the exact same lunch and made his way over, sitting down directly across from Julius. As Julius noticed him, Jotus extended his hand once more and said, "It's nice to meet your acquaintance." Julius shook his head, but reached out to shake Jotus's hand. "It's nice to meet you too, I guess," he said, a little amused, but Jotus didn't let go of the handshake. Julius laughed. "Sure are persistent, huh? Maybe we can be friends after all. What do you say, Jotus?" Jotus jumped up, grinning, "Yeah!" Then he quickly caught himself, sat back down, and nodded coolly. "Yeah, sounds good." He pumped his fist under the table, trying to play it cool.